I think he should look in the mirror and ask himself the same question, because it's like, what have you done? Even the guys you knocked out, they all been on a weight clause, weight drain.
The rivalry between Tank Davis and Terence Crawford has been growing for some time, and it's heating up more every day. Both fighters have been exchanging strong words, sparking rumors that a big showdown might be on the horizon. Fans are starting to wonder if a fight between the two is finally going to happen. Things are getting personal between Tank Davis and Terence Crawford. Recently, Tank took a verbal shot at Crawford, even bringing up his wife and kids, which many, including Shakur Stevenson, thought was over the line. Meanwhile, Tank wasn't happy about being left out of a big event. He took to social media to express his frustration, feeling disrespected by the snub. Some insiders say the exclusion wasn't a mistake, but rather a planned move by the event organizers to focus on fighters who had hit certain milestones in the past year. Whether it was intentional or not, Davis felt slighted and didn't hold back from sharing his anger with his followers, implying that his accomplishments in the sport were being overlooked.
If Earl fight him today, next week, next month, Earl was to knock him out.
How good is Terence Crawford?
Terence Crawford is good, but he's not what people make him seem. He's not pound.
Nation leads with the uppercut, and another uppercut.
While Tank Davis was clearly upset about being left out of the event, Terence Crawford seemed unaffected by his complaints. When asked about the situation, Crawford didn't hesitate to fire back, suggesting that Davis was simply bitter about missing out. What started as a simple back and forth quickly escalated into a full-blown feud, with both fighters exchanging jabs, not in the ring, but through interviews and social media. The tension reached a boiling point when Davis brought Crawford's family into the feud. During a live social media session, Davis made harsh remarks about Crawford's personal life, including an unflattering comment about his family.
And what he is. He said, watch what I've done in recent fights. I stay right in front of him.
Calling Crawford's wife 300 pounds and mentioning his 8 kids. These comments angered both fans and fellow fighters, with many feeling Davis crossed the line and turned the rivalry from a professional competition into something much more personal and ugly. Crawford, however, stayed calm and collected. He responded by saying that the focus should remain on boxing, not personal attacks. He made it clear that while rivalries are part of the sport, bringing families into it goes too far. His measured and dignified response earned respect from many in the boxing world, who praised him for handling the situation with class, despite the provocation.
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your...
As if the tension between Tank Davis and Terence Crawford wasn't enough, Shakur Stevenson decided to join the conflict. A close friend of Crawford and one of boxing's top young talents, Stevenson wasn't going to let Davis's comments slide. He took to social media and interviews to stand up for Crawford, calling out Davis for his disrespectful behavior. Stevenson didn't hold back, accusing Davis of taking things to a new low. For Stevenson, it wasn't just about supporting his friend, it was about maintaining a standard of respect in the sport.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
Damn. 147?
147.
Shit, I tap that chan, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't
is.
got no chan.
I already know he is.
You said no chan.
I got round 5.
Shit, I got round 6.
Shakur Stevenson didn't hold back when he criticized Davis for making personal attacks in their professional rivalry, saying that such behavior had no place in boxing. His comment struck a chord with fans who were already questioning Davis's approach to the feud. But Stevenson didn't stop there. He also used the moment to air his own grievances with Davis. He accused Davis of being reluctant to share the spotlight, suggesting that Davis felt threatened by the success of other fighters. Stevenson pointed out that Davis often chose safer fights, avoiding matchups that could challenge his position.
How you feel about that fight? Is it even possible at a catch weight?
Nah, ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
Not even entertaining the catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And what champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here with the big boys.
All right,
I'll welcome.
Stevenson leading to his first title is not the Shakur Stevenson.
As the dust settles from the Davis-Crawford feud, the spotlight is shifting to Shakur Stevenson and his big plans for 2025. Known for his precision and skill in the ring, Stevenson has set some ambitious goals for the year. In a recent interview, he revealed his intention to fight 3 times in 2025, which is a bold schedule for a fighter of his caliber. Among his targets are some of the top names in the lightweight division, including Floyd Scofield, Vasyl Lomachenko, and of course, Gervonta Davis. The potential showdown between Stevenson and Davis is especially intriguing, as both are undefeated champions with impressive records, and their contrasting fighting styles promise to make for an exciting match.
Gervonta Davis said he would stop Terence Crawford in 6 rounds. Man, what y'all think? Now everybody and they daddy want to fight Terence. They not even in the same weight class. This conversation is pointless. Nah, Gervonta. Sir, you need to fight Haney or Stevenson. But on a whole nother level with this ish.
Big trouble for Valdez and his team.
3-punch combination from Shakur moments ago.
For Stevenson, this fight means much more than just another win. It's his chance to prove himself against one of the biggest stars in the sport. He's been vocal about wanting this fight, even calling it his dream matchup. On the other hand, Davis hasn't shown much interest in facing Stevenson. In past interviews, he's downplayed Stevenson's accomplishments and questioned whether he's earned the opportunity. This dismissive attitude hasn't gone unnoticed, and it's only made the tension between the two fighters grow.
Let's just say we in a gunfight, right?
Yeah.
And I got a metal shield, and the opposite person got a glass shield.
Okay, Chad.
Who gonna come out on top?
The guy with the metal shield.
Okay.
My man.
That's
Valdez is making it easy for Shakur. This is target practice right now. Yes, not every...
Stevenson believes Davis's reluctance to fight him is a sign of fear, and he hasn't been shy about saying so. As the potential showdown between the two heats up, fans and experts are already buzzing about how the fight could unfold. Stevenson's skill and defense make him a tough challenge, while Davis's power and aggression are his biggest strengths. It's a matchup of contrasting styles that could have a big impact on their careers. Adding to the excitement is Turkish promoter Ala Sheikh, a well-known figure in boxing who's eager to organize big fights. He's spoken out about wanting to set up a unification bout between Stevenson and Davis, and his influence might be key in making it happen. However, Davis's recent criticism of Sheikh has raised doubts about whether a partnership is possible.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him. Who that? The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
Valdez needs to be smart. Use feints, head movement, level changes, and his jab while...
Stevenson remains optimistic, but he's also realistic. He understands that boxing politics can often stand in the way of big fights, and he's prepared for the possibility that his matchup with Davis might not happen. However, he's focused on making 2025 a memorable year, with or without Davis. Meanwhile, Zapa, as Stevenson's mandatory challenger, has added an interesting twist to the lightweight division, but there's still doubt over whether this fight will actually take place. Stevenson has expressed frustration with Zapa's lack of urgency in making the fight happen. Despite being the WBC's top contender, Zapa hasn't shown the eagerness Stevenson expects from someone chasing a championship. Stevenson's comments about Zappa avoiding the fight aren't just trash talk. They reflect a growing trend where challengers seem reluctant to face him.
William Cepeda, and I'm telling you right now, this is exclusive. William Cepeda will fight Shakur Stevenson. He will fight Shakur. I will make that fight next.
Zappa, known for his aggressive style and knockout power, would be a tough challenge for Stevenson. Still, the champion seems unfazed by the hype surrounding his potential opponent. For Stevenson, the goal isn't just to fight Zappa, it's to dominate him and prove once again why he's considered one of the best in the sport. However, until Zappa officially agrees to the fight, it's uncertain, so Stevenson and his team are focusing on what's next. That brings us to Floyd Scofield, the young undefeated prospect who has stepped up to face Stevenson. This fight is about more than just the action in the ring. Scofield's bold trash talk has added personal tension, making this matchup even more intense for Stevenson.
Cause he a good boxer, nigga. Like, that's when I look at y'all two as the best in the division.
How? Show me something that he did spectacular. Show me something that he did outrageous. Show me.
Right,
his power not outrageous.
Okay.
What defense?
You think he got defense?
By a superb counterpuncher like Shakur Stevenson.
With that backhand.
Schofield's bold decision to challenge Stevenson's legitimacy as a champion is not only risky, but also reckless, given the skill gap many believe exists between them. However, Stevenson thrives under this kind of pressure and seems to welcome the chance to prove himself. When Scofield didn't show up for the press conference ahead of the February 22 event in London, Stevenson took notice. He saw it as a sign that Scofield might not be ready for the spotlight. While some think Scofield was busy with other commitments, Stevenson sees it as a psychological win for him. For someone like Stevenson, even small actions like skipping a media appearance can boost his confidence and fuel his determination. The stakes for the February fight are high. It's not only Stevenson's debut with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing and Turkish promoter Ala Sheikh, but it's also a critical moment in Schofield's career. If Schofield doesn't deliver, it could hurt his rising star status. However, a strong performance, even
Valdez hasn't fought a southpaw since June of 2015.
Even in defeat, could earn him respect. For Stevenson, a dominant win would solidify his place in the lightweight division and set the stage for what he hopes will be a career-defining year. Recently, Stevenson has faced criticism for his fighting style, especially when compared to knockout artists like Gervonta Davis. Fans who are drawn to Davis's explosive knockouts often find Stevenson's more measured, technical approach less exciting. But Stevenson is quick to defend his style. He knows his dominance might not always lead to highlight reel moments, but he sees that as proof of his skill, not a weakness. He often compares his fights to basketball games, where precision and strategy are key. Stevenson builds a big lead early, and by the later rounds, his opponents are left scrambling. For him, the lack of drama in the later rounds isn't a problem, it shows his superiority. Dominance, for Stevenson, isn't about flashy knockouts. It's about controlling the fight from start to finish and leaving no doubt about who's in charge. While this style may not appeal to everyone, it's made Stevenson a tough fighter to market to fans who crave drama. However, he doesn't seem bothered by the criticism. What matters to him is winning, and if some fans find his fights boring, so be it. The idea that Stevenson's dominance has scared off potential opponents isn't just talk, it's a reality. His ability to mentally break down his opponents, not just score points or land clean shots, has made fighters hesitant to step into the ring with him. They know that fighting Stevenson means facing a masterclass, and that fear can keep them from signing up. Stevenson's reaction to Davis's recent announcement that he plans to retire after 2025 was calm and focused. While Davis made waves
of 2015.
Yeah, that'd be a problem, but you know what? He trained for southpaws. Had 8 weeks.
With his decision to step away from boxing to focus on family, Stevenson didn't let it affect him. He solely focused on his own career and made it clear that Davis's future has no impact on his ambitions.
Shakur Stevenson. Shakur might have better defense, but at the end of the day, I still think we haven't seen the best Tank Davis. That's what people always power.
Stevenson was blunt in his response. Honestly, I really don't care. It's not something I'm focused on. I'm focused on myself, on my career, and what I have going on. I don't care about that. This attitude reflects the mindset that has made Stevenson one of the most consistent and technically skilled fighters in the lightweight division. The possibility of a fight between Stevenson and Davis has been a hot topic for a while, but it still hasn't happened. Both fighters have been on a collision course for some time, with Stevenson holding the WBC lightweight title and Davis reigning as the WBA champion.
I love his chances because, look, one thing about Floyd is that he doesn't fight head first. He's a fast puncher. He's a strong puncher. His reflexes are cat-like. He's a fighter.
It very well can, because this is the biggest crowd that Oscar Valdez has.
Fans have often compared Stevenson and Davis, with Davis known for his knockout power, and Stevenson praised for his defense and ring intelligence. A fight between them would be one of the most highly anticipated in recent years. However, Stevenson doesn't seem overly focused on the possibility of facing Davis. He's moving forward with his career, regardless of whether Davis is part of the picture. Rather than seeing Davis's potential retirement as a setback, Stevenson is staying focused on his own journey. He's got a big fight lined up with Floyd Scofield Jr., who promises to bring a serious challenge. Despite the trash talk from Scofield, Stevenson is ready for whatever comes his way in the lightweight division. Schofield's decision to take on Stevenson was a bold move. His rise in the division has been full of confidence and big promises about being the future. But Stevenson's comments about Scofield missing the press conference showed his awareness of his opponent's nerves. Stevenson believes Scofield might be second-guessing the biggest fight of his career, and he's already mentally preparing for a win. For Stevenson is not just about winning. He wants to dominate and leave no question about who the better fighter is. Each fight is another chance for him to show off his skills and further solidify his legacy in the sport.
No, I'm saying, no, I don't have my name right now. But I got somebody I want to call out after this fight.
You said you got somebody you want to call out after this fight?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I'm not going to tell you.
There's crowd, as we just heard, and he's the one that has to make sure that he doesn't get...
Stevenson's past year was frustrating due to an injury that kept him out of the ring longer than expected. He had to withdraw from a fight with Joe Cinda after hurting his hand in sparring, which slowed down his momentum. But Stevenson is determined to make up for lost time. In 2024, he plans to aggressively defend his WBC lightweight title and possibly face some of the biggest names in boxing. His February 22nd fight against Floyd Scofield is his first major step back, and he's eager to prove that his time off hasn't affected his skills. With a strong win over Scofield, Stevenson has big plans for the rest of the year. He's targeting top names in the division, including Vasyl Lomachenko. However, Stevenson doubts the fight will happen. He questioned Lomachenko's willingness to fight him, recalling a sparring session where he believed the Ukrainian fighter was scared. Stevenson also suggested that Lomachenko's promotional team, Top Rank, could stand in the way of making the fight. Given Lomachenko's recent back injury and talk of retirement, this fight seems unlikely to happen anytime soon. If the Lomachenko fight falls through, Stevenson has a backup plan. William Zappa. The Mexican fighter, known for his aggressive style and knockout power, is a top contender in the lightweight division. Despite Zappa's potential, Stevenson isn't afraid to call him out, saying,
Oscar Valdez said to us yesterday, I have to stay controlled.
He'd love to face the 27-year-old. The challenge with Zappa, though, is not just his fighting style, but the fact that many top fighters seem hesitant to face Stevenson. Like others in the division, Zappa may be reluctant to step in the ring with Stevenson, but Stevenson remains ready to take on anyone. He respects Zappa's skills, but is confident he will come out on top. This is a fight Stevenson is actively pursuing, and one that could define his 2025. The talk around Davis's retirement has added more uncertainty to the potential fight between him and Stevenson. While Stevenson isn't focused on Davis's personal decisions, the reality is that their matchup depends on Davis staying active in the sport. If Davis sticks to his plan and retires after 2025, it could completely shut down the possibility of the fight fans have been hoping for. Timing has always been a challenge when it comes to making this fight happen, and with Davis planning to exit soon, the window for it to take place is closing quickly. For now, Stevenson is focused on the task at hand, with his upcoming fight against Scofield as his immediate challenge. However, as the year moves on, his drive will likely push him to face some of the biggest names in boxing. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.